Once upon a time, there was a woodcutter, his wife, and their 2 children. They lived at the edge of a forest. The boy was named Hansel and the girl Gretel. The family was very poor. One year, famine struck the country, and the woodcutter, during one of his sleepless nights filled with dark thoughts and worries, said to his wife,
"What are we going to do? How will we feed our poor children? We have nothing left to eat."
Well, do you know what we are going to do? At dawn, we will take the children to the deepest part of the forest. We will light a fire for them and give each one a small piece of bread. Then we will go to our work and leave them alone. They won't find their way back and we will be rid of them.
No, woman, I will not do that. How could I possibly leave our children all alone in the forest? The wild animals would soon devour them.
Oh, crazy. So you would prefer that the 4 of us die of hunger?
She did not stop until he accepted what she was proposing. The 2 little ones, unable to sleep because of the hunger that gripped them, heard their mother's words. Gretel cried a lot and said to her brother, "It's over for us."
Don't worry, I'll find a way to get us through this.
When the parents were asleep, he got up, put on his clothes, and left the house. Hansel picked up as many stones as he could and put them in his pockets. When the day came, the woman woke up the 2 children.
Get up, lazy.
We're going to the forest to gather wood.
Here is for lunch. Don't eat it all beforehand, or you won't have anything else.
She gave each of them a piece of bread. Since Hansel's pockets were full of pebbles, Gretel put the bread in her apron. Then they all set off for the forest. All along the way, Hansel, who was walking at the back, was throwing white pebbles on the path. When they reached the middle of the forest, the father said,
Now, kids, gather some wood. I'm going to light a fire so you won't get cold.
Hansel and Gretel gathered twigs at the top of a small hill. When they set it on fire and it was burning well, the woman said,
Lie down next to him, children, and rest. We are going to cut wood. When we are done, we will come back to get you.
The 2 children fell asleep. When they woke up, it was pitch dark. Gretel began to cry and said,
How will we get out of the forest? Wait a bit longer until the moon has risen. Then we will find our way.
When the full moon shone in the sky, he took his sister by the hand and followed the little white pebbles. As the day dawned, they reached the house. They knocked on the door and the woman opened it.
Naughty children, why did you sleep for so long in the forest? We thought you would never come back.
Their father, on the other hand, was happy as he had a heavy heart from having left them alone in the woods. Shortly after, poverty prevailed once again and once more. During the night, the children heard what the mother was saying.
We have nothing left to eat, only half a loaf. We have to get rid of them. We will lead them even deeper into the forest so that they can't find their way back. There is nothing else to do.
When the parents were asleep, Hansel got up intending to go and collect more pebbles, but the woman had locked the door and the boy could not go out. However, he comforted his little sister. Don't cry, Gretel. Sleep peacefully. God will help us. Early in the morning, the mother woke the children up. She gave them a piece of bread, even smaller than the last time. Once they reached the forest, the parents left the children to go chop wood. In the evening, Hansel and Gretel made a fire. Then they slept, and the evening passed without anyone returning to them. They woke up in the middle of the night, and Hansel comforted his little sister, saying, Wait until the moon rises, Gretel. We will find our way home. When the moon rose, they set off. But the 2 children walked all night and the next day without finding a way out of the forest. They were starving, having nothing to eat but a few berries. They were so tired that their legs could no longer support them. They lay down at the foot of a tree and fell asleep. They resumed their walk, going deeper and deeper into the forest. At noon, they saw a pretty bird on a branch, white as snow. It sang so well that the children stopped to listen to it. When he finished, he spread his wings and flew ahead of them. They followed him to a small house on top of which the beautiful white bird perched. As they approached, they saw that it was made of bread and covered with cakes. The windows were made of sugar.
We are going to have a feast and make a meal blessed by God. I am going to have a piece of the roof. It looks tasty.
Hansel climbed on the roof and tore off a small piece to taste. Gretel started licking the windows. Suddenly, the door opened, and a woman as old as the hills, leaning on a cane, came out of the house. Hansel and Gretel were so frightened that they dropped everything they were holding. The old woman shook her head and said, "Oh, dear children, who led you here? Come in, come to my house. You will not be harmed." She took them both by the hand and led them into the little house. She served them a good meal, milk and donuts with sugar, apples and walnuts. She then prepared 2 small beds. Hansel and Gretel lay down in them. They thought they were in heaven, but the old woman's kindness was only apparent. In reality, she was a wicked witch who had built the gingerbread house just to lure children in. When she caught one, she would kill, cook, and eat them. For her, it was a feast day. At dawn, before the children woke up, she got up. She grabbed Hansel, took him to a small stable, and locked him in. No matter how much he shouted, it did him no good. The witch then approached Gretel, shook her to wake her up, and told her,
"Get up, lazy. Go fetch some water and make something good to eat for your brother. He is locked up in the barn and he needs to get fat. When he is ready, I will eat him."
Gretel began to cry, but it didn't help her. She had to do what the witch asked. Every morning, the old woman sneaked to the stable and said,
"Hansel, hold out your fingers so I can see if you are already fat enough."
But Hansel held out a little bone, and the witch, who had poor eyesight, didn't realize it. She thought it was really Hansel's finger and was surprised that it didn't get fatter at all. When 4 weeks had passed and the child was still just as thin, she lost patience and decided not to wait any longer.
Gretel, hurry up and bring the water. Whether Hansel is fat or thin, I'll kill and eat him tomorrow.
Early in the morning, Gretel was tasked with filling the big pot with water and lighting the fire.
Let's make the dough first. I've already heated up the oven and got everything ready. Slip in and see if it's hot enough for baking.
She intended to close the oven when the little one would be inside to roast her. She wanted to eat her too. But Gretel guessed her intention and said,
I don't know how to do it. How do you get into this oven?
Little goose, the opening is quite large. In fact, I could fit in it myself.
So Gretel quickly pushed her into the oven, slammed the door shut, and locked it.
While the witch was burning, she ran to the little stable and said,
Hansel, we are free! The old witch is dead!
Having nothing left to fear, they entered the old woman's house. In every corner, there were boxes full of pearls and diamonds.
It's even better than my little pebbles, said Hansel as he filled his pockets. Now, we must leave if we want to escape this enchanted forest.
After several hours of walking, they saw their house in the distance. They started running, rushed into their parents' room, and hugged their father. Their mother had died in the meantime. Gretel shook her apron and pearls and diamonds rolled across the room. Hansel pulled more out of his pockets by the handful. Their worries were finally over. They all lived happily together.
Find all our videos on our website fun4.kids.